All right, so night two, again, night one ended like that. Again, I was up, but I didn't get no sleep. I just like, all right, let me just wash this off me, start anew. Right, so the next day, sun out, I'm walking the strip early in the morning because I like sunrises. I do, especially in a different spot. I just love a good sunrise. So I'm out just walking about, look for get some breakfast or whatever. Brought it back, got everybody, got my dad ready and everything like that, and we go do our thing. Right, we end up at the Wynn Hotel, and this one the Wynn had just got built out there too. So we had the Wynn Hotel at we saw the poker game that we're having. I don't know if it was a tournament or what, but it was a poker game, and the buy-in for that poker table was $250K. You had to have a minimum of $250K to buy into that table, and then it had the Porsche dealership inside and everything. And it was an experience because I went inside the Porsche dealership. They ran your credit report before you went in there. I didn't go in. They ran your credit report before you went in the actual dealership in the hotel. So I was like, hey, I ain't got that. So we at the Wynn watching the poker table and everything, watching the poker game. Then we go around and see some more stuff. I say the Wynn had just got built, so it was pretty big. It was pretty impressive. So we see some of all that stuff. Then we go over to Caesar's Palace next. Then we walk to Caesar's Palace and we see, the tiger exhibit, the white tiger exhibit, which was dope. The same tiger that Siegfried and Roy had. Back then, they were still performing when we were there. We didn't get a chance to see them because the incident with the tiger had, I don't know if it had just happened. I can't remember if that had just happened or what, but I mean, we was there. We were in the Caesar's Palace, just watching the exhibit. They had a pretty little wildlife exhibit there, which was, man, it was so dope. It was so dope to see that, right? So we get back to the room, whatever, settle in, relax for a little while until I went out for that night. My dad, he was like, all right, he just need to eat, chill for a little bit, and then we go down to then I go back out. I'm just walking the strip all night. That was most of my day. I just walked the strip, taking as much Vegas as I could. Right. So we get back in. Then we go down to dinner. All of us go there. Me, my dad, my uncle, and Rando. We all go down there to have dinner or whatever. Right. At the time I had a girlfriend at the time. You know what I'm saying? We were supposed to be serious. We were serious. I ain't gonna lie about that. We were serious. But it was my girlfriend at the time. But she called me to see how the trip was going. I told her it was cool and everything like that. This back in the days when your phone was in roaming. So, yeah, roaming charges were a thing back then. Again, I'm showing my age. That's all it was. This was almost 20 years ago. Right? So, my phone was roaming. We didn't talk long. And then, Rando gonna tell me, hey, man, if they can't pay your phone bill, they don't need to be talking to you. I'm gonna be dropping gems like that all week. Ain't nobody asked for that. I sure didn't. And if you gonna have gems like that, might as well keep them to yourself because I don't care. You're not paying my phone bill. I pay my phone bill. I had a job. I paid my own phone bill. What are you talking about? So that was that, right? I'm like, what, man, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to? I ain't your child. I'm not your kid. What are you talking to me like that for? My dad ain't talking to me like that because I pay my own bill. What are you talking about? So this man gonna say that nonsense to me. I'm like, man, I'm trying to eat. Go ahead. So we eat dinner and everything, and me and my dad, we had tickets to see a show. I don't know. So after we eat, we go over to the show because we were at the Harris, and the show was at the Harris. And so we go see the show. I mean, I don't know who this dude was. Never heard of him. Never seen him. None. But my God, was he a performer. Oh my goodness. He was so good. I mean, this man was in his 60s. I'm talking singing, dancing, playing instruments, doing splits. I mean, he was a showman. It was one of the best live shows I've ever seen in my life. And then he told his story because he was a mixed man. You know, his parents were one of the first black and white couples to get married legally in the U.S. And how he told that story, it was so dope. And the fact that he was able to perform the way he was even better. I'm like, man, this is incredible. For this man to have this much energy to perform at this level at his age, and to have a good story to go with it too. Oh man, I'm almost sucker for a good show. I don't know what he was singing, but man, it was great. I don't know what song he was doing. I don't know if there was original. I don't know if there was covers. I ain't care. It was a good time, and it was a good drink there too, man. I had a cranberry and vodka. Oh man, that thing was, whew. Talking about, I was one and done. Now, I've always been a kind of a lightweight when it came to that anyway. But man, I was one and done. And I was like, this is a good time. I ain't need nothing else. Anything else, I would have had a bad night. So I get that. And man, that show was great. The show was phenomenal. We leave the show. It was like 11 o'clock that night after when that show was over. My dad turned in. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going back out to the strip. So I walked the strip again. And I see some street performers. Yo, these cats right here, I'm talking, they was flipping and they was flipping, pop locking. Oh man, it was dope. It was dope just to see that. So I'm out on the strip, just watching the show, right? Just watching it. I get handed a flyer. This guy handed me, just walk by, passing out flyers for girls to come to your room. I'm like, oh, that's right. This is legal here. This is very legal here. Okay. No, not my thing. But hey, the flyer looked good. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, she looked good on that flyer. I'm like, good Lord. But they had the rates and everything. I'm like, nah, not for me. So I'm on the strip till about 2 a.m. I go to 7-Eleven, get me a slushie, right? I'll give me a Slurpee. So I think it ain't that type of Slurpee. That Slurpee is full on alcohol. I'm like, oh, this is the best time ever. Give me a Slurpee, just walking the strip, having a good old time. So I didn't get back, so I'm just walking the strip or whatever. Then I go back to the room. It's like 3 a.m. Like I said, okay, I might need to get some sleep. So I laid down for about a good hour or so. Then I'm back up. We're like, all right, what's next? That's how the second night in Vegas ended. It was pretty mild. It was mild compared to the first night, but man, night 3.